Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. I think that was fair comment. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Yeah, I approve that message. This is the Motivator. This is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. Yes, that you got to believe. Success is ours for the taking. Hope you're feeling strong, my audience. I hope you're feeling alive, enlivened. It's the Motivator here. There is no hold bars. But before I begin the show formally, let's give recognition to Giant King from GalaxyAfiwi.net. He's taken us from night to day, and long may his great works continue. And let's give a appreciation, a thumbs up to the Galaxy Afiwi Network Management. And of course, a special thanks to Chief Pakombabai, the inspirational founder of GalaxyAfiwi.net. And of course, many of you be aware that this podcast, this show, this platform not only goes out via GalaxyAfiwi.net, as you can see on the screen, but we're also live via YouTube. As you can see, under the Motivator Show, there you can make comments. Of course, you can press the like, the thumbs up, and most importantly, for free, you can subscribe so you advance notice of all future shows. And of course, we're also live via Facebook, again, under the Motivator Show. Again, why not follow us on Facebook and see us live there? Not only can you hear, but you can see my personage if you like. And of course, we also go out live via Instagram under the Motivator Show with an underscore between those words. And lastly, of course, we go out live via Mixcloud, audio only. What a powerful platform is Mixcloud. And of course, all the usual excerpts and so on go out via both Instagram and, of course, TikTok these days. Yep, TikTok as well. We'll be adding future platforms to the show. Watch this and listen to this space. There you are. Long may that work continue. We're extending our tentacles, broadening our wings. We are flying. We are strong. We are very much alive. Yes, yes, yes. Now, my people, let's take us to the next stage because there you are. I hope many of you would agree that last week's last strong transmission was an inspiration. You got a flavor, although we were not able to continue for technical reasons, of hearing from the Mau Mau pioneers in Kenya. Yeah, we will hear from them next month. Be assured, directly. But I hope you'd all agree that the interview that was played by Judge Patrick Robinson, His Excellency, a judge of the Court of Human Justice in The Hague, an extremely important judge. someone of many years distinguished service to humanity. His research, in collaboration with the universities of the West Indies, has proven beyond doubt that the old colonial powers, which include, of course, Britain, France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Belgium, and Germany, are due to pay just reparation. In the case of Britain, just based on the state, not the individuals or indeed the corporations, it's at least $24 trillion. That is what has been adjudged to. We will hear more from Judge Patrick Robertson in future shows later this year. But I'm sure the third installment of the research into the heinous crime committed by these old colonial powers can be further highlighted. And we should not shy away from pursuing just claims. We should not shy away. But I will come on to that on another podcast, on another show in not too distant future. But I will return to it. But I am honored and praised by those who've commented on the quality and the depth of that interview. Thank you. Thank you for your positive feedback. If you wish to interact with the studio at any time and you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can utilize the chat facility. The chat facility is live right now. I welcome your commentary. I welcome your commentaries. I welcome your insights. I welcome, of course, your encouragement. Because this is the Motivator Show. This is where we translate our words into action. And of course, success is ours. For the taking. Yes, for the taking. For the taking. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's go. I see the commentary on the chat. Yeah, I'm going. I'm fired up. I've exercised this morning. My blood is roaring with energy. Be aware. I am as strong as an ox, with the strength of a lion, and the determination of the masses. Oh yeah, be aware. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So of course, many of you be aware that these shows have themes to it, and this show is no difference, okay? This show is no difference. The show will look at how to create and build personal wealth and, of course, interdependence. Not this foolishness of independence, which means you're an island alone, But we are independent. And through independence, we create genuine wealth. I say again, through interdependence, we create genuine wealth. So you can start a business, but you are independent upon your immediate communities, your immediate surroundings, your immediate neighborhood to grow your business. Their support is critical. Interdependence. And through interdependence, you create a sense of respect and appreciation for those who are supporting, upholding, and promoting your business. Clear principles, Clear principles. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can hear far more about that. But let me now move on. Because now I've acknowledged the Galaxy Afui network management, and of course, the inspirational leader, Chipa Kumbabine, recognized nearly 40 years committed to de-brainwashing the community of the propaganda that we are often exposed to. Okay? It is now vitally important, not only do we engage in such behavior, that we take care of ourselves. So the next portion of the show will be devoted to the all-important lifestyle messages. Okay? They're important because far too many members of our community die long before their due date. and it's directly related to how we live our lives, what we eat, what we do. We collectively have responsibility to help those who are finding it difficult to help themselves. Therefore, messages, constant messages are important. If you want to stay in shape, what you do, you exercise regularly. If you want to transmit positive messages, you repeat it regularly. Yes, I'm repeating positive messages regularly. Every strong. Spend 20 minutes or so on lifestyle messages. I know some people argue it is unnecessary the individual to take care of themselves as individuals. But I start off by pointing out, not only should we seek to create personal wealth, but promote interdependence. In other words, we take care of each other. Does that resonate with you? We take care of each other. Those are the underlying principles that's the foundation of any family, any community, any neighborhood, any successful society. A powerful message. I need you to hear and understand, to incorporate it as part of your thinking. So together we can build personal wealth, or to use the euphemism, communal wealth. And we'll get into that later on, because we're going to speak to the Ubuntu generational wealth organizers as well later in the show. But what I want to focus on, of course, are the all-important lifestyle messages. Messages which are intended for you, not me, but for you. I gain no personal financial gain in sharing these messages with you. I do it because not only am I a man with conscience and empathy, because I see far too many members of our community dying before their time. As many of you be aware, I'm also an elected public official, so I see, if I didn't want to see, the official figures that are placed before me. And the reading of those figures is unsettling in relation to our communities. Now, I say that deliberately, our communities, deliberately, but I'm, of course, of the African heritage communities. Yeah? These messages are meant for you, but most certainly if you're of Asian heritage, particularly from India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. They also have similar, figures which are really quite disturbing when it comes to personal health. Figures which are quite disturbing. So together, we must help each other. I say again, together, we must help each other. So lifestyle messages are for you. So let's begin, shall we? Let's begin. And please listen keenly. I ask you to consider the amount of sugar and salt you add to your diet. Okay? Sugar, of course, there's a direct causal link between the overconsumption of sugar and diabetes and its prevalence in our communities. Much of our cuisine has a very strong and powerful sugar component to it, okay? Particularly from the Caribbean, yeah? Where they used to have large sugar plantations, yeah? It's become an integral part of our cuisine. And we know most certainly, if you live in Europe or indeed the Americas, but certainly in the United States of America, sugar is a prevalence in the cuisine. In every food that you buy, processed food, they add excessive amounts of sugar. The potential long-term consequence is diabetes. And in our community, it's way above national and international level as a proportion of the community. Here in Britain, the British NHS spends more than £26 billion on treating people with diabetes. And if you're of African heritage, you are 4 times as likely to have diabetes. In other words, in every other family in the community, there's someone with, they are aware of diabetes or unaware they have diabetes. Powerful, huh? I note, even the Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, that's of course Professor Hilary Beckles, he noted in a speech only a few years ago, in his immediate family, a family of learned persons, the prevalence of diabetes is unsettling. So I ask you to consider the amount of sugar that you consume each day. I equally ask you to consider the amount of salt that you add to your food. And salt, of course, is added as a flavor enhancer. Yeah, it's mythical, it's habit, it's unnecessary. It contributes to the hardening of the arteries, which results in the heart having to pump even with greater force blood plasma throughout our bodies. As a consequence, it raises our blood pressure. And many of you be aware of someone with either diabetes or high blood pressure, and they're now taking medication. But many people, too many people, are unaware they've got either one of those conditions and are suffering unbeknown to themselves. And the potential life-changing impact those two conditions can have on our general health. So I ask you to consider the amount of sugar and salt that you consume each day and be aware of the potential health consequences. I no longer buy sugar from the grocery store, and I most certainly no longer add salt to my food. Okay, I'm very, very particular because I'm aware, I know better now. I know better now and don't engage in such behavior. I equally ask you to consider the amount of carbohydrate that you consume each day. And carbohydrate primarily derived from wheat-based products. And of course, some root vegetables. And typical wheat-based products are, of course, bread, pasta, as you can see on the screen, or root products, produce such as potatoes and yam. Yes, I said it, potatoes and yam. And I realize yam in parts of the world, it's a staple food, and I get it. It really does depend what else you're doing with the yam. Most certainly, if you live in Europe, the Caribbean, or the Americas, and you consume an excessive amount of yam, what our bodies do, it stores it. It stores it as energy. Yeah, it stores it as energy. And the consequences can be quite life changers. And I'm going to get onto that in a moment because it's a profound observation. So I ask you to moderate the amount of carbohydrates that you consume each day. This is a message you must hear. Just look around in your family, your friends group, you would understand. Because just like the next ingredient, which is of course fat, that we regularly add to our diet. Fat primarily derived from meat-based products, and you see the raw meat on the screen. And I'm sure most of you can tell where the fat is. The fat is not the red meat, it's actually the white content intersecting the meat. You can see it on screen. And we cook it and it's not visible, but it's still prevalent in the food. I say to you, moderate the amount of fat that you consume each day. Wherever possible, just trim the meat of much of the visible fat that you can. And wherever possible, to grill or at least allow the meat to drain the fat as you cook it. But I ask you to consider the amount of fat that you consume. And many of you be aware, the consequence of storing fat in our bodies, I'll come to in a moment. But the impact on our general health is profound. And so profound that it potentially shortens our life. Yes, potentially shortening our lives. And I'll come on to the why it potentially will shorten our lives. As I've mentioned, overconsumption of sugar, salt, carbohydrates, and fat can then accumulate inside our bodies. Here's an example inside our arteries. See this blockage? You can see the yellow pus and so on. You can see it. Yes, that's a direct causal link between what we put in our mouths, what ends up in our arteries. And you can see the restricted blood flows that these blockages cause. And therefore, another reason for the heart to have to pump with greater vigor, raising our blood pressures with the consequences which I've described earlier, hypertension, which could potentially lead to aneurysms, yeah? Which means that the arteries you see before you burst. Yeah, it is serious. The last ingredient I need to give promotion and highlight to is, of course, starch. And in our case, primarily derived from rice and some root vegetables, such as the yams and potatoes I mentioned earlier. But rice most certainly is a challenge for us because it's a staple food. I get it. I absolutely get it. I know if you're from West Africa, from Ghana, Nigeria, and places across West Africa, I get it that jollof rice is a staple. I get it. It's the overconsumption of jollof rice, which is a challenge. If you're from the Caribbean, most certainly Jamaican. Yeah, the rice and the peas. Yes, I get the rice and peas, a staple food, but it's the overconsumption which is the challenge. The experts recommend to us we should consume no more than a fistful of food per sitting. Yeah, a fistful. I've been trying. It is a challenge. Don't misunderstand. Yeah, I have been losing weight. Yeah, but I've actually been overeating for decades. Yeah. I was encouraged to overeat as a child. I took it into my teenage, into my 20s and 30s and 40s. Yeah, I've got in that habit, but I'm modifying that habit because of my heightened awareness of the long-term consequences of overeating. It is a challenge. I get it. But for your sake, for your loved one's sake, for your community's sake, together, we need to change and protect ourselves from the scourge of overeating. You see on the screen those wonderful, attractive-looking cakes and those wonderful things we'd love to give the children or we have for special occasions. The challenge, of course, is the overconsumption. They're jam-packed full of carbohydrate, sugar, salt, and starch. Yeah, we need to moderate. Don't give that to children. Don't give children these sweet, hyper-sweet cakes and whatever. Yeah? Give them fruits, beautiful fruits, sweet fruits if you like, mangoes, cherries, yeah, grapes. Give them that as their treat. Don't give them these processed foods which clearly have long-term health consequences. I realize you formed a habit and it's difficult to change. I get it. But we must be the change makers, our own change makers. Change those habits, which we know to be harmful. Look at the figures on the screen. You see the consequences of overeating, the consequences of eating excess amount of fat, salt, and starch, and carbohydrate. You see the consequences it has on these people's bodies. You can see the bloated shoulders, the bloated chest, the bloated abdomens, the bloated thighs, and the bloated buttocks, or bottoms, if you like, in polite company. Yeah, direct causal link to lifestyle. And those of you who are in this position, I hear you, and we need to embrace you, to help you, so that your life can be long and fruitful. The consequences for those of you who are not in this state, I urge you to take those steps now. We can, and we must together help each other to do better. Embrace those who are currently suffering from these conditions so that together our family members, our community members can thrive with us. Let's not shame them. Let's embrace and love them. So together we can effect the changes required. Yes, you see it on screen. Look at this poor man and his abdomen. Look at that. You can see the woman. You can see obvious issues here, obvious issues. So I ask you to consider, because, of course, the experts recommend that we eat far more fruits and vegetables, live food, in other words. You can see on the screen the tomatoes, the beetroot. You can see the oranges and the melons. You can see the Noriega and the grapes. You can see the melons, the apples, the oranges. Yep, you can see the wonderful food before you. You see the avocados and the celery. Yep, you can see the lemons. You can see the corn. Yep, wonderful food. This is what our bodies crave for. This our bodies can use to build itself, build you. This is what we use to create plasma or blood. You see the onion, you see the celery, yeah? You see the cucumber, where we come from, yeah? You see the limes, yeah? You can see it all. This is what our bodies crave for. This is what builds human beings, yeah? This is the food we need to eat each day. Yeah? Natural food, untainted food, live food, not dead food, as is meat generally. Yeah? It is there for you. Take it in. Share this message with your friends and your family. See the nuts, see the mushrooms. Yeah, you see the bananas. Yeah, you see the tomatoes and the onions. Yeah, you see the Noriega. Yeah, you see the pumpkin seeds. Yeah, you see the cucumber, the beetroot, the pears, and the apple. Yeah, you see the melons. Oh my gosh, beautiful food. Oh yes, absolutely beautiful. The experts also tell us that we need to drink appropriate amount of water, although the food you just seen just now contains significant amount of water. But ideally, depending upon your height and your mass, ideally you should consume between 2 to 3 liters of water per day. You see the young man and woman here drinking their water, ensuring that they have and consume the correct amount of water that they need to sustain themselves each day. This is a powerful message. Of course, you can't do all of that unless you exercise. Exercise is important. I'm going to say it again. You cannot eat well and drink the appropriate water without exercising as well. This is what our bodies crave for. Our bodies were meant to be used. If you stop using your body, in other words, don't exercise, don't stretch and pull, don't expand, your bodies will assume that you're closing down and preparing to die. I'm going to say it. Yes, preparing to die. Your bodies crave to be used. If you're not using it, it assumes you're closing down. You see the young lady here with the weights. Where's my weights? With the weights. Using those weights to push and pull your muscles, push and pull the muscles, push and pull. You can see these wonderful weights. Oh my God, I do 400 of these per day. Both arms, both legs, push it on my abdomen. Oh my gosh, my muscles, I sweat, and I feel afterwards totally and completely invigorated, truly invigorated afterwards. You see the mature man, he's out jogging. Yep, he's got his headphones in and he's jogging. He's got a smile on his face. He can feel the sweat permeating through his skin. He can feel his heart racing, but he's finding great pleasure in the experience. He's pacing himself appropriately. You see the young lady running up and down the stairs, another way to exercise. Yep. Yep, you see her. That is what we crave. You see the young man doing his press up. Look at those muscles. Oh my God. Yeah? Yes, he is exercising with vigor, with intention to maintain his general health and vigor. This is what I urge you to do the same for a few minutes each day. And if in doubt, please seek out professional advice. My advice is general advice. You seek out professional advice so it's tailored to you for your needs, for your specific conditions. Okay? It is so important. I'm providing general advice. You seek out the professional advice. In addition to all what I've said, it's so vitally important you take care of your mental and spiritual health. If in doubt with regards to your mental health, I ask you to seek out professional advice or speak to whoever you most trust, you have the greatest confidence in. I'm confident that such a person you have chosen will give you advice or support you in seeking out the professional health. And as regards our spiritual health, being truly spiritual people, I've asked you to keep in mind body and soul. We must seek out and ensure we have spiritual stability. This is a vital part of who we are as human beings. It is vital that you hear these messages. If in doubt, seek out professional advice. And I say to you, remember, this is not idle words. Remember, translate these words into action, because for you, success is yours for the taking. And I know many of you will understand these messages, and I know you get it. Don't worry, I know you get it. But I need more of you to act upon the message, okay? And of course, a group of people who have acted upon the message, who recognize the importance of the messages to them, their families, and their community. And there are groups of Africans around Britain who are coming together in common aim and common purpose, understand that we must promote healthy living within the communities. And a group of Africans I want to point to right now are, of course, those Africans here in London, indeed my part of South London, who made themselves known to myself. Yeah. And I commend their work. They call themselves Countdown. These are Africans from across the continent, from the southern part, from the far north of Africa, from the Caribbean, and born here in Britain, yeah, and other parts of Europe, coming together in common aim and common purpose, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their religious affiliation, recognizing our health is indeed our wealth. I want to play for you the recording provided to me by the Countdown organization. Highly conscious Africans recognizes unity is strength, and in this case, it's best for our health. Listen and observe.
Cheese. Famous. Hello, 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 hello.
One life on leave, me self get one life on leave. Why we no go use am gladdy and enjoy the time? Palava no dey finish, time me no dey wait nobody. Now why I dey try for always get am nice every day and night? This one way we all fend we safe, not nobody own. You want to eat with you much we go down you belly now you young. And the balance where you go die left na all the money on. So why for the greedy you say for? Now the motor car where you let buy 'em. If you see finance where you call it bill 'em, oh. You meet up woman where you let yanam. And if you let the man na for keep 'em. Want them more. The food where you feel for eat na for eat 'em. That fine la pan where you let na for buy 'em. And tire more. And if you baby love you back love 'em. But if you love them all now you not for left 'em. Want them more. Cause nobody know waiting tomorrow old. So every day of my life tear old. I fasting enjoyment stay go. Now for land for care for yourself. Nobody love you pass yourself. All man they fed for himself. Oh. Now why I know they allowed with you other man they pan take the peace away. Me joy away, me smile away. Oh no, make nobody take your peace away. Me joy away, me smile away. Oh no, alright. Every day. I see they also look for the pay. They like na boku on a small package. I want to see the one now and then. No tomorrow, no to dirty. No money make no time and no. Long as you get waiting, you eat. I want to see the one now and then. This one we are friend with self. Now nobody on me. You are eating what we go down your belly now you young. Balance where you go down left now all the money on me. Sorry for the you say oh. Tell motor car where you let buy 'em. If you see finance where you go let bill 'em. Feel more. You meet up woman where you let me alone. Yeah, and see if you let me man I forgive am. What them more? From where you feel for it, some for it, that fine fine about you let me for buy am. And try more. And if you really love, you back love am, but you love them all now, you not forever. One time more, cause nobody know what you tomorrow hold. So every day I feel like they're old. I want to see the government instead, oh. I don't forget for yourself. Nobody love you but yourself. All on the bed for yourself. Now wherever they are, put you up the one day party. Yahweh, Yahweh, smile away, away, oh no, 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 the money take me away, away, joy away, away, smile away, away, oh no, no, away,
Ah. Whenever I watch that, I always feel such pride for them, such encouragement. These Africans from right across the continent and the Caribbean coming together in common aim and common purpose. They're not allowed any religious differences to get in the way or ethnic differences to get in the way. Even Nigerians from different parts of Nigeria, where they would in Nigeria be at conflict, but here they're in unity. Yeah, working together, common aim and common purpose, because our health is indeed our collective wealth. Interdependence, yeah, you understand why wealth creation comes in many forms. Yeah, our health is truly our wealth. I commend that group of Africans, those group of people who've come together in common aim and common purpose. And I hope you do the same in your own localities, in your own neighborhood. Come together to help yourself to exercise together, because you can never do anything so stimulating as to exercise together. It's a communal activity. It is truly a communal activity. I just want to give out the details. If you live in London, or particularly in South London, and you want to contact the Countdown organisation, remember I say organisation, these are ordinary people who've come together in common aim and common purpose. Why don't you send them an email? The email address to contact them is countdown0405 at gmail.com, or you can phone, and if you're in the UK, it's 07960 803 588. Okay, and they're based in Wharf here in London. It's SE17 1FN. Contact them, and they'd love to meet with you. If you're concerned and you want to improve your health, why not just contact them and join their regular exercise sessions, which are on Mondays and Fridays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And of course, they also run on a Saturday morning. I believe they could be out running right now. But anyway, there you go. All right, okay. So that was an important segment of the show. But before I go into the main segment, I just want to give a big shout out, if I may, and I just want to get the right caption up. And those of you will understand that I have a passion to support our children. You would understand it's incumbent upon parents and adults, elders and others, to ensure that the next generation are well prepared to take up the mantle of responsibilities. So we must ensure they have the best possible education. The academic, social and welfare education is critical. So again, just like the Countdown organisation, I wish to commend to you the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools, or NABS. Okay, these are adults who come together in support of their children to provide academic, in other words, all the usual academic subjects, as well as, of course, the social and health advice to our children. Okay, if you wish to support your local Saturday school, supplementary school, or just academic institution created by your community, let me recommend the NABs to you. And you wish to contact them, go via their website address, which is www.nabss.org.uk, or email at info@nabss.org.uk, or you can call the inspired brother near, who would in fact be on this podcast in a few weeks' time. You can call him now, or indeed after the show, preferably, on, if you're in the UK, 07958 348 558. I commend the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools to you as an inspired creation that's come out of the needs of our community. I commend them to you. And long may their work continue. Long may the works continue. All right, then. Now let's get into the nub, to the thrust, to the center of this show. Let's get into why this is one of the more inspired shows, they're all inspired, but truly inspired show, that I know that many of you out there want to create personal wealth, but also understand that we are interdependent. I deliberately use that word, not independent, because that's stupidness. Yep, absolute stupidness. Hyper-independence in our community is a cancer, it's a disease holding back the community. In recognizing we are interdependent, in other words, you support shops and offices and services that are the creation that comes out of our community. We should support those entrepreneurs, those business people, men and women, couples and others who are in business, okay? But the principles of business is to be learnt. Yeah? It's not just about filling your bank account. It is a service. So what we're going to do, many of you will recall that a few months ago we had Dr. Carlton Brown here, and his seminal report on the Black Entrepreneurs Report. And I can tell you, here in the bar which I reside, is a heavy influence in forming policies and strategies to address the inequalities when it comes to how wealth is distributed and those who create wealth. So what I'm going to do, he's got a very wonderful colleague, high intelligent, very determined, and most persuasive colleague. Who, when I encountered his colleague, I was swayed. As you know, I'm a persuader myself. I'm going to bring his colleague into the studio. Let's first of all ensure there are no technical challenges this time. There we go. Let's see if it's worked. You never know. It might not work. You know. There we go. Oh, it has worked. Oh my God. Oh, did I not say she's very persuasive? Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear us all right, Nicola?
I can hear you loud and clear.
We can hear you loud and clear. Excellent reception. How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for asking. It is early. We are in the UK. You are in the UK. But that's why I wear bright red, you see, to just give me the energy.
And you can see you may be able to see the background. It is quite bright as well. But I say to people, look, if you get up around 5 o'clock, 5, 6, exercise. You'll feel so invigorated at this time of the morning. You're alive. Your eyes are wide open. Yep. You're flexing your muscles. You feel as if you're ready for the day. That's why.
I know. Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Is this framing okay for you?
Beautiful. Absolutely fine.
Thank you. Oh. Thank you so much, Martin. Before you go into it, because you've got the energy for it, voices like yours are really, really required in the space of business growth, in life, actually, because I see the early segment around health. And for someone like myself, it's important that we have platforms like yours to help amplify our narrative in a really positive way, even if it's challenging, in an honest, open, positive way. So I'm really, really appreciative of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you are so right. I think for me, just so you know, Nicola, I've seen far too many members of our community die before their time. Okay? Died long before their time. Currently, you recognize there are far too many members of our community who are overweight and are building up health problems. Yeah, far too many have diabetes and hypertension, high blood pressure. Okay, but directly related to lifestyle. In other words, we could do something about it, and we have it within our gift to address these issues. This is there's much more I could say on the subject, but for you today, there are many tuning in and will watch the recordings on YouTube and Facebook because they want to build personal wealth and also appreciate the importance of interdependence. So you appreciate your customers and so on, particularly those in your immediate community. Okay. Now, I know you, but I want the audience to get to know you. Okay, we all know the audience knows Dr. Carlton Brown, but know you and the role that you play. But before I get to your role, I'm going to ask a get to know you question, and I hope you'd appreciate it because some people become quite nervy at this point. I say, "Oh, what's he about to say?" But I'm going to say it. Can you describe to us, just for the audience's sake, a person or an event that has influenced you and have made you the person you are today?
That is a very powerful question for me, because I say quite often that the person I am today is because of what I'm going to share with everyone right now. In a very short sentence, I will say that I'm raised of Guyanese parentage, and I was blessed at the age of 8 to go and live in Guyana. And there I met her before, but I got to live and experience who I would call my soulmate, and that was my grandmother. Okay. And from life and the woman that I am to business and entrepreneurship, she was my seed. She was the seed. She was the one person on this land. She passed away in 2011. She was the one person on this earth that I knew saw me, like saw my soul. And it was the safest place I had on this earth. She taught me how to love. Yes. She taught me how to have tenacity. Yes. She taught me how to be brave and bold and be audacious. Yes. And so when I returned to the UK 5 years later, I had a foundation that was from the source in my instance. My mum is one of 9, and I see that across all my aunts and uncles. But through them, it's her, right? Because my grandfather died when they were quite young. And so it's through her, they, and then us, but I got firsthand to live that experience. So the person I am today is fundamentally through the land of Guyana, if I'm totally honest, overall, because it really does take a village. I won't tell you the whippings I got in the nicest possible way, because down the street, someone saw you do something and your grandmother, by the time you got home, everyone knew. Yes. I was definitely raised in that village mentality and raised with amazing teachers, nurses, doctors, farmers, pharmacists, preachers. I was raised in a complete village. And so, everyone gets a little bit of that through all of that.
Oh, powerful, powerful. And it's made you the person you are today. That experience made the person you are today. I know there are many out there who are quite envious of that experience. I know. And this is why these podcasts are so important, and why I ask the question, because it gives an insight to the person's character. I've already known you for a short period, and I'm already overawed by you. I have to stop by saying to you, to your face right now, I am very impressed. And of course, Dr. Carlton Brown, of course, is an example of the best of us, someone truly inspired. So what tends to happen, inspired people attract other inspired people. And you are most certainly inspiring. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. That's provided a useful segue for my next question that I've mentioned that my audience is familiar with Dr. Carlton Brown. His seminal work, the Black Entrepreneurs Report in 2021, which I know you are very familiar with, and its impact on local authorities across Britain, I can testify to, being an elected councillor and also possessing the economic portfolio. It is a heavy influence on what I do. Now, what is the purpose, I want to ask you, of the UK Black Entrepreneurs Conference if compared to the UK Black Business Entrepreneurs Business Masterclass? Should our audience attend one, the other, or both events?
I would say fundamentally, the best way for me to put this is this. Fundamentally, you can never learn too much. And each of the individual experiences across the UK, which is the difference fundamentally between the masterclasses and the London conference that takes place in July, the masterclasses will be more intimate, first of all, and you will get a greater opportunity to meet one-to-one some of the all of the keynote speakers, depending where you are, the partners that we have developed, which we'll go into as we continue to speak, the people in the room, and also those that are strategically looking to understand in a very granular way the importance of and how to get onto the supply chain in real terms. When you go to the conference that takes place in July, which this year is the third year, and I'm happy to share the stories of that journey for sure.
Yes.
The masterclasses are now another step further. If you allow me the grace, Martin, to explain that when the report was written in 2021, it was a report that was going to be shared, and most of you would have eventually read it over a period of time.
Yes.
It was a conversation that Dr. Carlton Brown had with a journalist and a few other people in his network that made it become the conference in July that took place. The original conference actually was created and put together within 3 months, which was unbelievable.
Yes.
And it was the stage of taking what we see on the written word into a real life experiential space. This is important because people learn in different ways, and taking the report from the pages and bringing it to life was very, very important. But also it was that demonstrative set which allows the organizations who we are challenging to see with their own eyes and hear with their own ears that we are out there.
Yes.
We being the 16% of the UK population.
Yes.
And so therefore there is no more where are they, but there's also hearing and feeling the humanity of the people in the room. And that is another step closer to letting people understand that Black entrepreneurs are building real sustainable businesses.
Indeed.
We are smart.
Yes.
We are intelligent.
Yes.
What you perceive when we were working in your boardrooms can be delivered also in our independent businesses.
That's right.
Now, the masterclasses is now taking it another step further. It's taking it across elements of the United Kingdom, Manchester, Birmingham, and Bristol at this first stage. Everything takes time, but we're getting there. And so we've worked with our partners, worked with our sponsors from the London event now 3 years, putting it across the UK, certain elements, parts of the UK. It's a starting block. It takes real investment for that to happen, both time and financially.
Yes.
But it's something that we understand that, again, takes narrative from Black entrepreneurship. 16%, we're not all in London, we're across the UK. So it's taking it that step further and understanding what that really means and bringing it to the people where they are, showing the respect across the UK as much as we possibly can at this stage and building from there. So that's fundamentally, one doesn't trump the other. It's just about ensuring that we take things to where people are, but also giving people the opportunity to access things in their own way and in different ways. They can read a report, come to London, and go to any of the regional. All of them are important.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I placed on the screen for those of you who are viewing us via YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. You can see that the first of the conferences, and just make sure I've got this right, Nicola. I see that we've got April the 10th.
That's in Manchester. That's correct. Yes.
Or April the 18th is Birmingham. April the 19th is Bristol, and May the 3rd here in London. Okay, and we'll go on to tick later on, but I just want to just mention that. And you've very well described its purpose, just to ensure that there is no misunderstanding as to those who should attend. And I note here that these are the aspiring entrepreneurs, early stage entrepreneurs, current small business owners, startup founders, or indeed what you describe as being growth stage businesses. I wonder what that means, to be honest with you. Growth stage businesses. What does that mean?
It's funny because when I speak to business owners, the minute that you've started, you're in the growth stage as far as I'm concerned. Once you've got the determination and the tenacity to keep moving forward through the first 5 years, you're constantly on a level of growth. However, growth in the corporate space, I guess, will also mean things like seeking investment, looking to expand your market share, getting out of your comfort zone as well, because most of us will start businesses in places that we are comfortable. And it's going from that micro perspective to a more macro perspective. It's about intentionality of your business. So let's just say you're a candle maker, for instance, and you're happy to work with your local market. You're still growing within that space, right? Once you get more and more customers. However, if you decide to go beyond the market and then you say you want to go to Selfridges or Tesco's, who are some of our partners and sponsors throughout the year, that takes a different level of thinking and pushing you beyond the remits of what your understanding will be everything from branding, labeling, compliance will become a little bit different. So in corporate space, that will be considered growth terms. But in my words, the minute you start, you're on that growing trajectory. It's just your capacity to take on board the legalities, if you want, of that growth.
This is, thank you for that, and it's really interesting to hear you describe the meaning of these words. I know that having spoken to a number in lieu of this interview, it was interesting to hear their responses to each of these descriptors. And if I may, clearly at each of these venues, you will have on-hand experts. Okay, experts with multiple qualification but extensive experience. Typically, such a conference would not have such experts. How have you attracted them to come along and give the support to the community? How is that possible? They tend to be high-flying, going around the world, they tend not to be quite so readily available. Is it your charm or Dr. Carlton's charm or your combined charm that attracted the facilitators? Tell us more. Is it your reputation then?
16% of the population, millions of people across everyone is individual in their own way. So the reasonings for an individual deciding to come and participate, sponsor, can be varied. But if I give you some of the more common ones, that may help. For the reasons, some of them I've been waiting and chomping at the bit to find professional and accessible ways to really support the community in tangible ways. And this is just one avenue. So for some of them, you really have to say the word UK Black Business Entrepreneurs Conference, and they're there before they even, like in the first year, having some great speakers like Eric Collins and the rest of the speakers that were on the panel. You barely had to say what it is, and they were there to support the first one without any evidence, knowing what the structure is. And if you look at some of the videos that highlight the first year, most people said this is the benchmark through which all the other conferences should be measured, because the professionalism within 3 months was, if I may say so, second to none. And that's based on testimonials, not my words, theirs. So many of the speakers come of their own volition. However, I do work in public relations. Dr. Carlton Brown has got over 30 years in business experience. And what we call social capital, social equity, is going around and spreading the word and evangelizing and telling people the importance of it. But again, it's for most people, they just have to know and understand the cause and the direction, specifically the conference is going, and they jump on board very, very swiftly. What I love above everything else is that everyone comes with an open heart and with the intentionality to serve. And there's a book by a gentleman called Yanis Varoufakis. He is a Greek. He was a Greek politician, but he writes about the economy. And when you read that book, it's called What I Taught My Daughter About the Economy. And when you read that book, it tells you the purpose of entrepreneurship. Most people think it's about building personal wealth. Actually, it's about servitude. It's about managing wealth and redistributing, but also securing and building up assets to repurpose for the next generation and generations to come. And that is the heart and soul of the conference.
Well said. And Dr. Young is also has a YouTube channel as well. And I'm an avid watcher. And thank you.
Oh, I do know that.
Oh yes. It's, they said we are in interesting company. I have to say, Nicola, can I just take this on? I've described on going to the poster the type of person that might attend, but it was interesting as I started to promote and receiving feedback, interesting questions were put to me. And you're going to laugh at this one. And it seems laughable, but actually it is quite profound. Do you intend to aim your publicity at state-educated persons or privately educated entrepreneurs, or specifically targeting single men or single women, or indeed married couples? Interesting. I'm not sure why that response came to me, but it's interesting how members of the community ask that question. Is it determined by education? Or are you really targeting only singletons, or is it aimed at couples? Not sure why we want to divide ourselves that way, but it's interesting. I'm interested in your response to that interesting question that was raised on more than a few occasions. Yeah.
Okay. So based on all the promotion we've done so far, so I'll cover this by a couple of ways of answering this question. First of all, it's never ever been a thought in my head based on single men, single women, married couples, or education. That was never based in any of our publicity whatsoever. However, the team makeup, which also is always an indicator, if you want, of how things will go in an organization, we are broadly either state educated, a combination of married couples, separated, etc. And also, but very much academic to, like myself, I'm like I've got a degree kind of thing. So we fall within that range. But the one thing that we all have in common is empathy, right? We have an empathy for our people and wanting to access that. So what we do to ensure we do is eliminate the barriers. So that's the first thing that we focus on. Anything that eliminates the barriers, whether it be financial accessibility, which is why we're taking it around the UK, and also financial, like I mentioned earlier on. However, what we do know from statistics is that two things. One is, and we had this discussion briefly, Martin, married couples as demonstrated in even football teams, etc. The most successful businesses and teams are within a construct of community. So I guess that leads into what I mentioned at the very beginning of how I was raised, right? I knew my success was because I was raised within a community environment. And so the same is very much true. The second element would be that in the report itself, it demonstrates, and also across a number of different reports, it demonstrates that the fastest growing group within entrepreneurship by a margin, so like 2 to 8%, no more than 10% at the moment of 2022, are women. Mm-hmm. Are in that space of growth within entrepreneurship space. So if we were to speak about who receives our information, mm-hmm. it will be those that are within that progressive mindset. Mm-hmm. And so our language speaks to those, but I will say that when you're looking to prove a point within any business, what you need to do is serve your micro audience well, yes. Prove the point, yes. And then it goes regardless of gender, age, demographic, education, because success is success, indeed. However it's phrased. Yeah. So, but I will take on board that actually in regards to communication. That's a really good point. Thank you very much to whomever asked those questions.
Yeah, it was quite profound. A state-educated young man who had moderate qualifications considered that this particular event was for highly educated, privately educated individuals, and therefore was not for him. Okay,
may I just say a point to that actually? Myself personally, I'm not a privately educated person, although the Guyanese education system is pretty fierce, I will say. That said, when I reached out to Dr. Carlton Brown to become my business mentor, when I first started, I had that very similar mindset in regards to how does one approach an academic or someone that's lauded as a doctor. Mm-hmm. The bottom line is people are people. Yes. And whether you are a pauper or a prince, mm-hmm. once you get and sit down in front of them, they have the same emotions, mm-hmm. and the title very, 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 very quickly, and I mean within seconds, diminish. Yeah. So to the young man and to people of that thinking, here's my recommendation. Okay. You have to allow your purpose to pull you, and stop the fear from pushing you. That's right. Allow your purpose to be your guiding light. And so therefore, if you feel like going to this room is challenging for you because you feel it's for academics, do a little bit of research, I would say, like you would do for anything else in your life, and find one person in that room that you want to connect with. Mm-hmm. Anybody. Mm-hmm. Whether you see someone buying a ticket and you're like, I know that person, I like that person, I'm going to go and meet that person. Or whether it's someone that is David Osologa, mm-hmm. Yes. A professor that's on TV, lauded. When I spoke to him, how tall is he? About 6 foot? Yeah. 3, 4, I'm 5'2". But the most calmest individual ever. Yes. And you could be in awe, but just another human being that's just there to serve. Yes. Yes. So that's my recommendation. Don't let the title stop you from being pulled to your purpose.
Mm-hmm. Wonderfully said. In other words, I say it regularly here that we need to translate these words into action, but success is ours for the taking. It's very much a mindset. You've got to take it. It starts with your mind. And I want to encourage those of you who are watching or viewing and listening to us that hear Nicola's wise words. Okay? Don't listen to me. You just hear this wise woman. Listen carefully to every word she just said. Repeat what she just said. If you're not sure, go back to the recording and listen again and again and again to become the part of your mindset. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you. Let me take you on to the next question, which is again, I need to get under the surface here. And we've noticed you have at least one bank that's sponsoring the event. Now, access to competitively priced capital is a barrier for most businesses. How will attending the conferences facilitate equitable access to capital?
Can you repeat the question for me again, Martin?
Now, we've noticed that at least one bank, at least on the main entrepreneurs conference, is sponsoring the conference. Okay. Now, access to competitively priced capital is a barrier for most businesses, and most certainly for Black businesses. How will attending your conferences facilitate equitable access to capital? In other words, reduce the barriers.
Yeah. Thankfully, we do currently have NatWest as a sponsor, and there are other banks that are doing work as well within the space with different organizations, partner organizations, sister organizations, whatever we want to call them. When we first started this conference, Dr. Carlton Brown has a relationship with Lord Hastings from London Chamber of Commerce and the Black Business Association with the London Chamber of Commerce. And one of the things that was cited at London Chamber Conference and through Lord Hastings, who's one of our keynote speakers at the conference itself and a great supporter, is that organizations say they can't find.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that is one of the barriers they constantly cite, as they cannot find these Black entrepreneurs out there.
Yeah.
So
not to reach.
Where are they?
Yeah, I've heard that term used. Reach community. Here in my borough, we're nearly half the population. We're to reach. An officer actually said it in front of me. Oh my God. Anyway,
exactly. So the first thing is to ensure that actually they are what Dr. Carlton Brown classifies within the report as the race paradox. They're really meaning what they're saying, right? They are going beyond the platitudes or showing us the black square or rolling out the DEI section in October in the UK for Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going beyond those. So we're having real conversations that impact our whole 16% of the UK, maybe even up to 20%, let's say, of the UK population that are Black entrepreneurs specifically. We are working with really solid partners that, like Tesco's, for instance, who are saying that they need to be doing more. And we are challenging what that more looks like. Beyond just the banks, and it's not to go away from the banks, but it's really important to demonstrate how we are tangibly going through organizations and institutions and corporations like Ernst & Young, like Every Woman, for instance, like the Co-op, like the Tesco's, like the Selfridges out there, tangibly going through this. So partnering with, for instance, organizations like Every Woman who want to increase the number of Black applicants into their wards in the diversity group, because Southeast Asian women are applying more than any other, than the Black demographic. How do we engage these Black women? Well, some of the questions are prohibitive. So we will sit down with you and say to you, and you will spread that amongst your other organizations like Enterprise Nation, like the local authorities, and you will have those conversations at those tables, and they will challenge the paradigm of what corporations used to look like. We are not, as a Black, non-monolithic, but non-monolithic space, against hard work. We work very hard. And we work diligently as a community. It's demonstrated. But if you're saying that you want growth within your organization, which will increase your profitability, by the way, which will increase productivity, by the way, then you have to make those changes that we are saying to you are necessary. Read the reports and action them. Take them on board as tangible, living, breathing things. They are not just platitudes. They are lived experiences of individuals. If I walk into a room as a Black woman and you pretend like you cannot see me, that's my lived experience. So do not deny the words on the paper.
And you made a series of really interesting pointers. So, of course, access to capital is a barrier. And what I think you're saying in relation to the conferences, that you create networks, and these finance houses will be present at these events as well.
Yes, EY will be there as
Mhm.
well as others will be, and NatWest, etc. will be there. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. I may return to that in a moment, but I just want to press on to my other question. When it said, just listening to your response of this access to capital, how can my audience obtain tickets for the UK Black Business Entrepreneurs Business Masterclass, or indeed the UK Black Business Entrepreneurs Conference? How can they obtain tickets? First of all, let's get that out of the way, first of all.
Yeah, so quite easily, we do have, I'll start with the social end of it. The Instagram, you just go on there, and in the Instagram, there's the Linktree link, and it will take you directly to where all of our information is across the board. So if you ever want to find out anything about Black Business Entrepreneurs Conference, all you need to do is type in Instagram, go BBEC_UK, and you will get everything, because it take you to Linktree and it gives you everything. That aside, for those people who want like to go directly to Eventbrite, for instance, again, all you need to type in is the Black Business Entrepreneurs Conference, and all of our events are on there. So that's it at the moment. For those that are saying, oh, you need a website, we are focused on the things that we have to focus on right now, which is getting people access to the things that they need right now. And those are primarily the quality speakers, the institutions, and the spaces we need to host these events. And that's our priority, because the access to finance and access to supply chain is urgent.
Yes, indeed, without a shadow of a doubt. And I've just put it on the screen that to obtain tickets to the masterclass. I understand that there are quite a few tickets available. Is that right?
Yeah, so there's different capacities per site. There are not as many as the conference itself, obviously. So for Manchester, there's only 59 tickets.
Oh, wow.
And we have in total. In Birmingham, there's 100 available. In Bristol, 60, and in London there will be 100. They went out on sale at the beginning of this month. I don't have details on what's sold already. We have an admin, Karen, that deals with all of that. Her name is Karen, that deals with all of that. But they will go fast.
Brilliant.
Based on the track record of the conference itself.
Yes, that's understood. And clearly the quality of the advice and support that will be given to each individual far exceeds what I see as an extremely modest price of £49 for the masterclass. How on earth it's only £49? I don't know. I'm not going to probe, okay? But nevertheless, I know that that's an incredibly good price, and I acknowledge that you've said it at the beginning. It's empathy. You understand that our community needs this support, they need the knowledge, so we want to ensure it is readily accessible to them. So I commend the masterclass to the audience, and I can see that the real benefits that will be derived. I've got a group of local entrepreneurs in my borough here in London who will be attending the event. Okay, be assured, and that's just one of the 32 boroughs of London. So I know that my equivalent numbers across London who are either watching us live now or will be reviewing the recording of this podcast will, I'm sure, do the same likewise. So I want to commend this event to you, and I those of you who are very familiar with my background, I am loath to commend anything. Okay, and I am truly risk averse. Okay, patient with me at all. But here there is no risk; it's all benefits. There is no risk. There is all benefit. Let me take it off the screen. So if I may,
can I just add one little thing before you continue, Martin? See, this is exactly what we need, right? We need that actionable point. It's more than a like and share on social media. It's about you actually taking what you know, the access to the information through your experience, and then saying, okay, people, this is an opportunity for you. And this becomes, in many words, the word of mouth that people talk about. But if you're in a position, like you said, you are, like you mentioned just now, and you said you are, then other local authorities should feel confident in saying, okay, I can use some of my budget to allocate to this event, and what should we be scheduling throughout the year to help our local businesses in real tangible terms, beyond just, like I said, the platitude of something on Black History Month. Like, yeah.
Thank you. Beautifully said. Did I not say she would be charismatic, persuasive, awesome? Did I not say that? Huh? Did I not say that, people? Did I not say that? Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I don't normally open up the phone lines this early in the morning, but, there are some, I'm sure, who want to make inquiries. Now, those of you who are so motivated, inspired by the words of Nicola, Dr. Nicola, right?
I speak it into existence. I will earn mine. I promise you. I'll go and do the work. I promise.
Who just interact. I welcome the call. I'm just going to put up the telephone number now. And it'd be interesting. Listen to these questions, they come forward. So the number to call, if you wish to interact with the studio, it's 0203 289 6504. I repeat, here in the UK, it's 0203 289 6504. If you're international, of course, you take off the first zero, it's +44. But I look forward to receiving calls from the UK, and I look forward to those direct questions, and few was posed to me. So those of you who are always shy, and as you know, Nicola, they're always shy, they wait to the last minute to start calling, typically, but it's okay. That's fine. That's just the way these things are. I believe we may have our first caller on the line. Good morning, caller with number ending 0935. Can you hear us all right?
Yes. Grand risings, my brother.
Good morning to you. Do you have a question for my guest?
Yes, I do. Right. Look, fantastic work you're doing. I know that question may seem, but it's not with.
Hello? Oh, 1 second. If we do something here. Yes, show me again. There we go. Right, it should all be there now. Good morning, Cordy. Can you still hear us?
Yes, good morning.
Oh, okay. I've lost my first caller. Oh, well, okay. Caller with number... Yeah. Go ahead. Do you have a question for my guest?
Yes, good morning. I hope you're all well. This is my first time calling, actually.
Pleasure.
I've just recently come from Ghana, and I wanted to start like a honey business. So I just tuned into Galaxy this morning, and I thought, oh my God, this is a good opportunity to hear and to also come. But I was wondering, I have 2 children. Are children allowed to attend the conference? Like, because I don't have anyone to look after them at the moment. So can I bring them if I wanted to attend?
Okay.
How old are the children, may I ask?
2 and 4.
Okay, so can you do me a favor, please? If you go on Instagram or whichever social media and send me an email. And the reason why I need to correspond to you by email is because some of the sites have actually young people access. What's the word I'm looking? Compliance, that they need to comply with. We are in the UK, and there are obviously laws and legislations around health and safety, all that kind of stuff. But we are here to make as many people have access to these opportunities as possible. So what's your name?
Please.
Please do, please email me Nicola is my name. Email me and I will ensure, if you let me know which site you're coming to, I will find out the answer to that, or at least liaise with the site so that we can find out how we can accommodate yourself. And then your question actually helps us to serve so many others as well, because at least now we can say in a frequently asked questions section, children under the age of such and such will be able to attend, but they will need to sign certain forms. That's absolutely fine, because at the large conference, we had that where someone brought a child who was in a pram and we needed the form to be signed on site. If we knew before, we could have alleviated that. So if you help me, I can help you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Can I just ask you, Corda, before you go, did you say you have a business or want to start a business?
Yeah, so I just came back from Ghana like 2 days ago, and I want to start because I wanted honey, but they keep mixing fake honey. You know, they have sugar with the honey, but I wanted original honey. Yes. So I was connected to someone there that has original honey. They go to the central part of Ghana to get the honey. It's pure. And so I wanted to start a honey business. So I want to start it. So I've brought some in, but I want to do a trial. But I know I heard your guest talking about reaching it on a higher scale, which is what I want to do. But at the moment, I'm trying to start it off with like just the local neighborhood and see how they like it, and then take it further. I need to come to the business conference. And
my last question. Do you live in South London? And if you do, which borough in South London? Just so I'm clear.
In Southwark.
You're in Southwark? Oh, indeed. Yeah. I definitely want to talk to you. One of my missions of my cabinet portfolio is to promote the establishment, creation, and interact with business founders, and also, of course, to support those who wish to grow their business. Okay, you know my name. I would encourage you. My details are on the internet. Please reach out to me, and most certainly, I would arrange for you to have a free ticket to this event.
Oh my goodness! I've never called a station before as well. This is amazing. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. My pleasure. I'll leave you to contact. Okay, I'll leave you to contact me. And thank you very much for the call. Thank you very much for the call. Pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
There you go. There you are.
Thank you.
There you are. I believe we have another caller on the line. Is there another caller on the line? Oh, no, that person's gone. That's okay. That's fine. Now, the original caller, I'm sorry that we lost the caller with number ending 0935. If you wish to recall, I do apologize. I'm not sure what happened. Please call again. But that was an interesting question as to if there was childcare available. That's an interesting question. Maybe another question in terms of the venues and so on. I'm going to assume that they're all DDA compliant, they're accessible by people with disabilities and so on. Oh, okay. So I asked that type of question. I'm sorry.
No. Listen, these are the things that need to be challenged. So we do make all the sites as accessible as possible, but I don't have that as a factual clarification. But most of them are mainstream, like NatWest Bank, for instance. I'm going to assume they are, to be totally honest with you. If they're, again, I will double check that. But I do know that NatWest Bank is definitely accessible.
Okay. And my sort of follow-up to that, I'm assuming that each of the venues are in close proximity to public transport.
Yes, they are.
Good. We don't need to drive. You just take public transport, save the world, save the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I may, I'm just conscious, maybe just one more question, and then we'll sort of wrap up. One more question. If you were envisaging the future, because I'm familiar with Dr. Carlton Brown and yourself, of course, but I'm also familiar that there are other similar organizations out there doing similar works, and each of those organizations I'm approached by every so often for reasons you completely understand. Okay, and I'm a strategic leader, as it were. Okay, and one of the fault lines in our own community is this insufficient collaboration underway. Is there any possibilities that yourself and the other similar conference organizers might ever collaborate on these ventures so that there are great concentration of these highly motivated, highly talented people in a single place, and thereby you become greater than your individual part. Does that make sense to you? Is that possible?
100% it makes sense. I'm going to tackle this question in twofold very briefly, if you don't mind. Okay, so I don't think there's necessarily a problem having a variety of us out there right at in this precise moment in time, because we need to, there's millennials, there are Gen Zs, there's different demographics that will be pulled towards. So we want as many people to be entering into the conversation, period. Wherever they can, let them get into the conversation. However, I would like to say with 100% confidence is that behind the scenes, organizations like the Black Business Network, which is run by Shari, like the work that's been done in association with Lloyd's and the Black Business Report that they've got over there, the work that's being done with Raphael and the Black Business Show that takes place in October, and they also cover Birmingham as well, like the work that's done with the Black Tech Space. And there's so many organizations, the Conscious conference that's held by Michelle Raymond, the work that's been done by Tony Dada, and so many others. Behind the scenes, there is collaboration taking place.
All right. Okay.
So I would say that it takes time. And many organizations are intersecting into this space through the variety of different partners within our space. But Councillor Martin, I would like you to be confident, and you can repeat this 100 times.
Yes.
Behind the scenes, conversations between Dr. Carlton Brown and the other networks take place.
Yes.
And partnerships are happening. And the word of 2024 amongst those, and I think it's sleeping out in the zeitgeist of our community, is collaboration. It's no longer a desire, it is taking place.
Okay.
It is taking place. So rest assured, over the next few years, we will feel that change in our purses, in our foot leather, shoe leather, and in the time we have to spend in different spaces. But it is happening.
Thank you. I have to say, Nicola, as I said, I've only known you for a short period, and I'm excited at the prospect of attending these events. I hope that last caller makes contact with myself. I'm offering that last caller, I will pay for her ticket. Okay, that's what we want to see. We want to promote entrepreneurship, ensure it's easy for them to access the professional advice you're able to offer. But of course, being in business is not about making money, as you say. It is community service. What would your last word be to the audience before you go now, Alvin? What would your last word be to them that will push them off their feet and they go?
I'm going to use the last caller as our example.
Okay.
If you are watching and you're watching the playback, of everything that we spoke about, discussed, as important as it was, if that last caller, who is our audience, the person we're here to serve, did not pick up the phone and put herself in the room, she would not have received that opportunity. She had 2 children, they were in the background.
Yes.
Let's just say that's the prohibitive financial asset. If you do not open your mouth, if you do not ask, if you do not reach out and put yourself present, you will not receive the benefit. To get into those rooms, figure out a way to get those tickets, figure out a way to be available to listen to the playback, save up. Instead of buying, I know the proverbial coffee analogy is always used, but instead of buying the coffee, put it aside. What is it? Every mickle makes a mockle. That's what they say in Jamaica. Yep. Every mickle makes a mockle. Put it all together and say, this is what I'm investing in me. In me. That's what she did.
Yes.
That's what she did. She invested in herself. She took the courage, the mindset, pick up the phone and did it. She's the example. She's my last word.
Oof. Again, if I didn't know any better, I would have said you're a charismatic politician myself, but who am I? I say to you, thank you so much. I wish and hope that the conferences and the masterclasses will continue to go from strength to strength. You have my unreserved support, and I will continue to promote each of these events because their social value is far greater than the monetary expenditure you're demanding of the attendees. And therefore, with that calculus, it's a no-brainer. You should attend. You should attend.
And everybody should follow your lead. Every borough, yes. 32 of them, and all London counties should follow your lead. Reach out, buy groups of tickets. Birmingham, Manchester, Manchester, Bristol, even Newcastle, anywhere. Buy the tickets. Get your entrepreneurs within your borough down. Okay. That's what I say.
Thank you, Dr. Nicola. Thank you so much. We look forward to speaking to you again later in the year, and our doors are open for you at any time. Thank you. And extend our regards to Dr. Carlton as well. Thank you.
I shall. Thank you. Thanks, Martin. Bye-bye.
Wow. Wasn't that something? Wasn't that something? It's got a flavor of the energy, the intellect, the determination, the awesomeness that's within our communities. Don't let anyone tell you we're asked to reach. Don't let anyone tell you that we're satisfied to be consumers and not wealth creators. Don't let anyone tell you that we cannot collaborate and work together with common aim and common purpose. Don't let anyone infer that we're not successful peoples. Because evidence is abundance here on the Motivated Show. Here indeed on the Galaxy Freeway Radio, digital radio network as well. And all those presented in Galaxy Freeway are examples of our forward-thinking determination to de-brainwash so we can empower ourselves to success. Remember, success is ours for the taking. Now, I mentioned in the previous show, and now that we're still on the theme of business and wealth creation and developing sustainable communities for ourselves, okay, we're still on that theme. So I do hope that you will attend the Black Entrepreneurs Conference and you will take advantage of the business masterclass for the nominal price that's been applied. Because, of course, the wealth that you are able to create is enormous. But of course, I've mentioned on the previous occasion that an organization by the name of Ubuntu Generational Wealth are also organizing an event in Kingston, Jamaica, designed to inspire, designed to encourage, designed to provide a foundation for members of the community to grow their business and extend their tentacles both across the Caribbean and, of course, across the motherland of Africa. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that members of the Ubuntu organization will join us. And you recall we had Jose Santiago last time, and I believe he might be online now. Let's see if I can bring him into the studio to give us the latest update and preparation for a conference that will take place this month. Let's see if I can bring him into the studio. Let's see if we can bring him in. I think we may have him. Jose, you are live now. Okay. Hold on, let me just turn this down. Let me just take him out he's preparing himself. Let him give him a moment to prepare himself, He's got to, present himself online to the not only just to my audience, but to the entire world. Huh? Jose, are you ready now? Let's get this underway, because we want to promote the important work that Ubuntu Generational Wealth offer to the community. Just bring Jose. Oh, there he is. Oh, good morning. Mornings. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, brother. Very well. Yourself?
I'm well. Give us the latest update. How's Kingston? How's Ubuntu Generational Wealth? Are you on course? What is happening? Share with us, please.
Brother, okay, thanks a lot for the opportunity. Since we were here last time, loads of things happened, a lot of uptake, but more importantly, we managed to get Dr. Radikana Shimbarikwa to be our speaker.
Ooh.
And she's not just the speaker one day, she's going to stay there with us for the whole week.
Oh, God.
So, so we are so excited. And then Also, the government of Jamaica also wanted to have a presence there. And the University of West Indies also got involved. The Irie Radio, FM radio, I mean, we are there every Friday and every Monday until the summit. So and then this Sunday, we're going to be there. No, yeah, tomorrow. We're going to be in Irie, and the following Sunday and the other Sunday as well. And they're going to cover the entire summit.
Right.
And then to allow us to do. So, yeah, we are so excited, so excited. And Jamaica, I mean, it looks that, as Jamaican, obviously, welcoming, very warm.
Yes.
And students and young people are getting very involved. So loads of things that's happening, and we are so excited.
And just tell us, if I may, and I'll just put it on the screen. How did you manage to get the ambassador to come along? What would her role be at the conference? Just so I'm clear.
Yeah. First of all, she will be talking about the the link between generation, because we talk about generation wealth. Kind of a passing the baton with the solutions which can be presented or can be implemented, not presented, implemented in the continent, but not just in the continent, but to link the diaspora in the continent, because diaspora are a great part of that development plan. So she will be sharing that roadmap with us, and obviously we're going to take note to start implementing it. So her role, she's going to have a massive role, because obviously while she's there, she's going to connect with the government of Jamaica as well as a couple of other Caribbean government agencies who are going to come. So yes, her role is going to be quite pivotal. To others, yes.
I'm encouraged by this, and just for the benefit of the audience, can you just I put it on the screen, but you may just want to read it. The website address by which the audience are able to contact yourself, obtain tickets, and make those arrangements. I know it's rather late in the day, but it's never too late, I suspect. You've got the website address, Andy, there?
Yes, absolutely. The website is Summit, SUMMIT. .usuwealth. Usually is spelled U for unique, G for Glasgow, E for echo, wealth, WEALTH, with all one word, usuwealth.com. And if somebody wants to email us, is summit at usuwealth, UGEWEALTH.com. Summit or they can just WhatsApp us +44 7587 928032. So they can. All of those are on the flyer, on this little flyer.
Yes.
And we would be just excited to have as many people from the UK, because people are coming from the US.
Yes.
We even got people coming from Australia. Could you believe that?
Oh wow, good.
So
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Just for the record, I'm not surprised. I commend this conference to the community. I know, Jose. I know. We can't see her, but the outstanding Sister Teresa, and I know that these are two Africans who understand, as my previous guests understand, empathy. They understand. We working together, formidable, absolutely formidable. What else would you like to say? Just so that we are clear now, we know how to contact yourself. We've got a telephone number. I know the tickets are being sold fast. You now have the government of Jamaica giving you support and be present. That's outstanding. The day, it's between the 5th and the 10th of February. There is specific events on each day. Do you wish to quickly summarize what will happen each of those days?
Okay. Now there are even another news, because we are going to do it between Negril and Kingston.
Ooh.
So one part is going to be in Kingston, the other part is going to be in Negril.
Right.
And yes, so we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Kingston, and then Friday and Saturday we're going to be in Negril. Now, what is going to happen? We're going to have the opening, and then there will be how to connect us as people, our history, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be first day, just to warm people up. Then there will be a visit to the Maroon Village, and checking few things. For example, Bob Marley house, first guitar, Marcus Garvey church, Marcus Garvey school. We're gonna do those singing and dancing, and then we come back. We're gonna have on the same night. We're gonna have Circle of Fire, for example, where we're gonna sit around, have dinner, and then do what our ancestors did. Then the following day, we're going to talk about the alternative financial system, because one of the things which is crippling us as people is that our financial system, how to make money, how to keep money for ourselves, is being really hijacked.
Indeed.
Most of us don't notice that, but this is a fact. So we're going to be talking about that as well. We will also do the origin of yoga. We're going to talk about sunset, sunrise, and meditation, and then we're going to have the business symposium. We will have business people of both sides of the pond sitting down there and exchanging strategy in terms of how they can do business direct instead of coming via Europe or via the US. That was going to be a business symposium. The Chamber of Commerce is involved. Lots of businessmen and women are coming from the continent to there, the Caribbean island as well. So we are truly excited. And by the way, there will be two workshops there led by the ambassador.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, one workshop is going to be one for ambassador, one for Bishop Maponga, and another thing I didn't share with you. Wood Meyer, the biggest blogger of the continent with 1.5 million followers, is not just with us, but he's going to also speak to the young people. Wood Meyer will be there also speaking. So, I'm telling you, we are over the moon. We are literally over the moon.
Well done. I noticed that the outstanding Teresa is here, but not said anything. I've only got maybe 1 more minute.
Okay.
Hear from you, if I may.
Hi. Yeah, thank you for having us both here. I love today's show. The previous speaker was just awesome. Great information. I just want to say, Brother Martin, you have been so supportive to us, and your endorsement and your social proof of endorsing us is such a great asset for us. And we can't wait for the summit, and we want to encourage last bookers to come. Just join us. You're going to have a whale of a time. The memories that you will make is going to be lasting generations to come. So everyone come. That's really my message. Just come. Find a way to come. Thank you, Brother Martin. I really respect you and love your show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And just to say this, Brother Martin, obviously we will be doing recording, and we will honestly share some recording with you. If you feel safe to share it with the audience, fantastic, because literally something that we cannot forget is the support that you gave us, talking to your people, to your network, and allowing us a platform here. So literally we can't be thankful enough. So we will definitely make sure that hopefully we give something back.
Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you very much. I look forward to your future and ongoing success. Pleasure. Take care.
Take care, brother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, as you can see, been a busy show. Inspired Africans have appeared here, and what they've demonstrated is our resilience, our desire for success. Remember, translating words into action, because success is ours for the taking. Be aware, success is ours for the taking. It's very much a mindset. Be clear and be determined. And if in doubt, hold the hands of another member of your family, another person you trust, and gain and share their energy so that you can aspire, so you can go forward together. Oh yeah, that's why I do these podcasts, these shows, these platforms. That's why I do this. So let's move on. Let's move on. The last few minutes of the show. I'm now going to forecast a future show. I don't normally do this at this point, but I would on this occasion. I will, in the next couple of weeks, do a show which will look at Black maternity health, or mortality, more importantly. Our women, our prospective mothers, African mothers, black mothers, here in Britain, and similarly, stats in the United States, are 4-5 times as likely to have death or mortality. I pause because I had a case quite recently, very recent, this last strong, where a resident in my political ward, a child died. She almost died herself. And I was struck by it, and I was again reminded that I needed to do this show and share information with the community about the levels of death, mortalities. Yeah? It's just off the scale, 4 times more likely for one of our mothers to die, or indeed for their child to die in birth. Disgusting. I cannot tell you how much I'm disgusted by that figure. Okay? There are reasons for it. There are some social reasons, but there's absolutely clinical reasons why this is happening. And for this reason, I want to give promotion to the subject. And when I'm really pleased, in the borough that I reside, which is Southwark, here in London, I'm really proud that we are amongst the most forward-thinking Apologies, everyone. I think that was a slight hiccup there. One moment, just check something else here for you, making sure we got this right. I think we're back now. That was an interesting interruption. What I will say, I will see you next strong, and I want you all to be faithful to yourselves, maintain good health, but work together. Collaboration. And working together means you become greater than your individual parts. So this is The Motivator. And to next strong, I remain faithfully yours. This is where we translate our words into action, and where success is ours for the taking. There you go.
Cheese. Famous. Hello, 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 hello.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. The Motivator Show